Debate with a feminist on fake equality regarding drafting. Oh,
should women be drafted? This is an efforts to figure out if you guys are feminist or not. Should women be drafted in the military?
Like, by drafted, do you mean like when you turn 18, like you're automatically?
Okay, yeah. So men have to register for the selective service. Currently, there's not a draft in the United States, but all men in the.
I think women should not be drafted for combat roles. I think being drafted for like being a cook or something like that, or like medical or something that's not combat related is probably okay. But I don't think women should be drafted for combat roles because men are bigger and stronger and. Like a woman's not gonna be able to carry a man off the battlefield. It's just not gonna happen. Like maybe there's like 6 girls that can do that, but like on average, no, it's not gonna happen.
The United States at 18, in order to be able to vote and have other benefits, they have to register.
It's because men and women aren't equal, by the way. That's the reason why. Everybody knows this, but you got some people, some 19-year-olds try to reinvent biology, try to reinvent the world. But no, men and women aren't equal. They never have been, they never will be. That's just the way it is.
For the selective service, which would then make them subject to military conscription in the case that there was a military conflict which required a draft. So do you think women should be subject to selective service draft?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay.
I wouldn't even trust women to like fight for our country unless that's like that's their thing. Like if you're like that type of woman that you feel like you're stronger.
It's really impressive whenever they get some of these people on there, bro, because like, you think about what is it that makes you think that you should go on a show like this and give your opinion about anything. Because, like, you gotta know, man, if you this stupid, like, you gotta know it somewhere deep down inside. You gotta have an idea that maybe I should fucking stop, man.
Like that, but I just feel like, no.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, hold on. So you think they should be
purposely bring on stupid women? Yeah, but like you act like, bro, you act like he goes out there with a burlap bag like Borat and goes and, whoa, I got you, bitch. All right, get on the podcast. What do you think about equal right? Who do you think should pay for a first date? Like, that's not what happens. Bro, they show up themselves. These are grown-ass women. These are grown-ass, this is an adult. You go on there and you make a fool out of yourself, and it's like, yeah, they might give you the clown makeup, but you're the one putting it on.
Drafted based on how they feel.
Out of here.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if, like, willingly, if you just want to.
She's saying if they want to.
No, just really want to volunteer. Yeah,
if they want to volunteer, yes.
Yeah, but then that just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean.
Right. Well, that's what we currently have.
Yeah, but I guess we should be drafted because I mean.
Okay. All right.
I mean, plenty of men don't want to join.
Okay.
Plenty of men. Plenty of men. Plenty of women. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
If we gotta do what we gotta do, I mean, yeah.
Now here's the interesting thing. You guys both have different opinions on this. I still don't know which is actually like the actual feminist position, because it will have feminists who will argue. It's actually, we had one last week with Andrew, who said, well, it's not equitable. It's not equity for women to be drafted. That's a whole nother thing.
Interesting.
But what about you?
No.
No? Okay.
No, women should not be drafted.
Should not be drafted?
No.
But they should be paid equally in sporting events?
No comment.
Okay.
Well, of course they shouldn't be paid equally. Like, for example, I think women's gymnastics should be paid more than men's gymnastics. And I guarantee you that probably is what happens. Same with women's beach volleyball. I think that'll be paid. I think women's beach volleyball probably gets paid more than men's. I've just got a feeling about that. I don't know why. I just got an idea. And sure, of course, right? Tennis? Maybe you're right. And but basketball? I don't think so.
No.
They shouldn't be drafted?
I don't think so.
Well,
yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, so everybody except Anza said women shouldn't be drafted, but y'all want to be equal? So wait a sec. How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure, right? Like, none of this stuff in the studio is built or maintained by women. Do you know that like 90% of infrastructure jobs are still held by men? Mm-hmm. And that if you look at the top 20 jobs held by women now, in 2024 versus 1924 are almost the exact same. So women have had 100 years to do whatever they want, and they still do the same 20 jobs they did 100 years ago, other than we switched out farm labor for HR
Yeah,
work.
of course, right? Because because men and women are different, and men have like different proclivities towards things that women don't have. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, there's always, it's like I've seen this go on like my whole life. It's like these are like adults that, and they're young people, right? And so they don't really get it. They don't understand it. So it's like in their mind, they actually think that men and women are equal. Everybody know. Like, I mean, if you're fucking 30 years old, you know this is not the case. Like, there are just certain things that men on average like doing more than women, and this is always like. And the problem with these people is that I think that if you looked at the people that talk like this and think like this and go against what she's saying, the pink shirt girl, and you ask them to explain how statistics work, I think that they probably couldn't do it, because the majority of people that talk and think about like the exceptions, the reason why they think about exceptions and they bring those up as contrary to like an overall rule is because they have a fundamental misunderstanding of statistics, right? They can't conceptualize how statistics work, and they don't understand averages because it's an abstract concept. And a lot of people just have trouble understanding abstract constructs because, you look at the bell curve of IQ, and there's a lot of people that are like, not so good. And so they're not going to get it. And especially if they're not taught that. One example equals everything. Exactly. Yeah, they don't have the mental capacity. And it's like, do you ever get mad at your Game Boy because it doesn't play Monster Hunter World? I don't. Do I ever get mad at my Xbox controller because it hasn't 3D printed a cat girl? No, because it's just not programmed to do that. And so you can't go and get mad at somebody for doing something that they're just not set up to do. They're just never going to figure it out, man. And so that's all there is to it. I work in construction, I work with women. Yeah, they can do some jobs, but we aren't putting a 120-pound girl on a job that requires somebody to lift a 4-inch rigged pipe. Yeah, exactly, right? And so, like, it's just, I don't think women, like, not every single job, even inside of things, I bet, like, inside of, like, an oil rig, there's probably a job inside of an oil rig a woman can do. Because there's probably a spectrum of physical activity that's needed, and there's probably one component of that you can put a person on and they don't need to do anything, right? Like, yeah, engineer, reception, cook, admin, filing papers, coffee, yeah, something like that, right? It's not a big deal. But, like, this idea that it's the exact same is crazy. And also that people have the same interests. It's crazy, too. Like, like, you look at video games, right? You look at Kingdom Come Deliverance. I wonder how many guys are playing that. Warhammer, how many guys are playing that? Like, you go and you look at Twilight, how many girls watch that? You go and you look at, fucking Sex and the City, how many girls watch that? It's just that there's a different trend. Like, crazy to me that people don't understand this. Crazy.
But other than
the
that,
Sims,
we're secretaries, nurses, daycare ladies, early childhood education, administrative assistants, retail workers, all the same shit that we were a century ago.
And you know what the real fucking sad thing about this is that people look at childcare and they look at things like being able to, provide and take care of a family, and they view that as inferior to being able to be in the military or something like that, like a physical activity. And the truth is that, like, we need women to do that. And that's a great thing. And for a lot of you guys, you probably grew up with a stay-at-home mom. And I know that for me, right, at least my mom wasn't really a stay-at-home mom. She would work from home, so she was staying at home. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, that really enriched my life, and it enriched the life of everybody else around me, all my friends, like. And so this whole idea that it's like an inferior thing because you can't pick up a 150-pound brick, that's crazy. You can't go and carry a man out of battle like you're just inferior. No, that's not the way it works. It's never the way it works. And I just, it's sad for me to see there's such a, there's such a dichotomy being created between like male and female dominated jobs, as if being a receptionist, as if doing admin work, as if, helping people, take care of their kids, like as if this is a bad thing or it's inferior. It's absolutely not. It's never been inferior. It's crazy people would even say that.
So if the men are the ones tasked
It's sad,
with every time
honestly.
there's a natural disaster, they have to go out and rescue people from
Yeah.
the fires and the floodwaters. And every time there's a war, the men have to go and fight it and defend the country. And anytime there's a criminal who needs to be violently
You're right, but the problem, but is there's a lot of women that shame other women for doing that? Yeah, well, I mean, like, there's a saying for that. There's a song even. It's called Hoes Mad. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? You're going to get mad about who cares? Why take it seriously?
arrested, it's going to...
Yeah, no, that's it. A female firefighter, imagine a hose on fire. Yeah, but there's a job that a female can do at a fire station, right? And so just because men and women can't do the same jobs doesn't mean women are like inferior. So y'all are generalizing? Of course you're generalizing. You have to generalize. To talk about anything in like in a general sense, you have to generalize. And also, like, let's be real, like, you can be generalizing, but very few times there's gonna be like a woman that's gonna be able to pass like the Navy SEALs fucking training regiment, right? It's the one that's for men. Like, it's not gonna happen. What's wrong with generalizing when it's the truth? The reason why people don't like generalizations is because they're not very good at understanding abstract concepts. Like, for example, averages. So like in their mind, this is what I'm saying, right? Is like, I learned this, and there's a lot of people. Remember, you know how like kids can't read clocks and shit? Well, this is kind of the same thing, where like people can't understand a statistic. They can't understand a general idea because they know somebody that's not like that. You see what I'm saying? Emmy, the thing with Emmy, nah, bro. Like, all right, I'm gonna be honest, okay? She's short. She's like 5'3" or something like that. And like the angle that she was looking at the clock, I could see where she wouldn't be able to tell that, like, that was the second hand, that was the minute hand. Like, I really, like, that, this honestly was, like, you know, just fucking height difference. Like, that's it. So she probably couldn't tell because she was at a different angle. Now, it's funny to make fun of her for it, right? Because, you know, you can't read a clock. But the reality is, like, that's not really what happened. But it is funny. That's not the issue. The thing you're talking about is if all women are fit to do a certain thing. Yeah, exactly, and it's not. That's just the way it is. So that's the way I see it. It's a psych debuff? Yeah, something like that. I think the premise of the argument is the concept of equality is baseless from zealous advocates that want it because there are inherent responsibilities that females would rather not have to do. Well, the problem is, like, women want equality in the things that are beneficial for them, right? So, like, they want to have equality in high-paying jobs. They don't want to have equality in being garbage men. You want to have equality in, different types of privileges, but you don't want to have equality and responsibilities. Like, that's why people fucking hate it. That's why you see comments like this, stuff like this is so popular, is because, and this is the same for a lot of people, right? People want to have their cake and eat it too, which, I mean, I think it's a stupid phrase, but we all understand what it means. And so they want to have the privileges, they want to retain their privileges while having other people, while not undertaking the responsibilities of the people that they want to have the same position as.